welcome back to Poppy Playtime, Poppy and in case you have not seen last episode, we killed Noe. Yep, that man is dead. He was shattered into a billion bits. And also, in last episode, I accidentally missed the red tape, and no, I did not replay the game in order to get it. I am not doing that shit. So yeah, once we come across a little, like, a red tape player thing, then I'll play the video. Because apparently the red tape is, like, really important, so I'm curious on what that has to say.
It was awful. So awful. I didn't want... This wasn't what I thought we were gonna leave. Leave the factory. Not this. All those people. Prototype says we can't leave. Not now, not ever. I hate him. I hate him, and I hate this place, and I hate that he's... right. He explained everything, and he's right. We can't leave. It's too risky. What they did to us, we can't ever let it happen to us or anyone ever again. Doesn't make me feel better about the bodies, though. What he was saying about them. I know there's not really another option. The toys will starve otherwise. They'll die. But it's still disgusting. I wish you were here, Dad. I could really use one of your talks right about now. You'd know what to say. When you were running this place, you always knew what to say. I miss you.
But right now, we are off to find survivors. And there is still one person that we still need to meet. I almost spoiled it by accident. I think we're going to meet them. Alright. Also, I think this is going to be the final episode. Just a bit of a hunch, because we have been playing this game... Well, anyways, as I was saying, we've been playing this game for, like, what, above 4 hours now? I thought this was going to be a 3-hour game, not like, what's going on to, like, 5 now? Oh, Jesus. So, I'm very curious on that. What's this? Oh, tape player. Yeah, sure, we'll play it. That's a red one, but it'll work. Oh, Noe!
I'm not sure if this thingy is on, but I need to talk, and I can't talk about this with anyone else.
You can talk to it with yourself. There's 3 of you.
Fighting's been bad, real bad. I've seen a lot of stuff I probably shouldn't. It's been hard to keep my head straight. The others, they look to me to know what to do, to know where to go. For a long while, we had Poppy to tell us, go here, go there, do this. And it all made sense, too. Poppy was nice.
Oh?
I can't find Poppy anywhere.
Yeah, because she was in the glass case.
I don't know what happened or where she went. But it's scary here without her. Maybe she ran. Just like I have.
I wonder if this is,
I'm here.
Jackie
outside
talking.
the prison. In front of... I almost forgotten it was all here. And seeing this again, it's given me reason to think. I could make for the exit. It's all I'd wanted for the longest time. But there are others inside. Others that aren't like me.
Yeah, these are the other two people.
Hungry and scared like I am.
Oh, never mind. Talk about the critters.
Not me. They can't go where I can.
Yeah, they're trapped.
But they mean a lot to me. A lot more than I thought they did. And having seen what I have, knowing how they see me, how much they need me.
This is depressing.
Going back.
Oh?
I wanted to make this in case I ever doubt or forget that. Just play this and remember. Yeah. Yeah. That's all. See ya.
Dude, Dowie was carrying so much weight, even though he was still just a kid and probably fighting his own demons with the other voices. Dude, I really do love Dowie. The more I fucking find out about him, I just love him so much. But it did seem like that was Jackie talking more than like Michael or Kevin talking. So that's very interesting. Man, I'm so sorry we had to kill him, bruh. Alright, what's this?
Day keeps the monsters away.
Yes, yes they do. Oh, is that all I can do? Bop, there's the box. Can I go by now? Can I like sneak by? No, okay, hold up. Da-da. Also, for an Omni hand, this hand is like very limited. Like, I never really quite realized that. And there's only like, what, 2 charges left? How the fuck does that work? This Omni hand is shit.
Ollie! Ollie!
Oh, shit! What the fuck?
Hear me? Ollie!
What happened to you guys?
You! What did you do?
What did I do? What the fuck? Don't blame me for shit.
Kill Dowie.
He was trying to kill
Do
me.
you even understand what happened?
No.
The prototype, he... Did you even plant the explosive?
Yes!
Ollie! Ollie, answer me!
Oh, poor Kissy.
Please.
She's so fucked up. Oh. Ring-a-ding-ding. Who could that be?
Ollie! Something's gone horribly wrong. The safe haven...
Shelf ventilation block B6. Is this where you are, Poppy?
That's terrifying.
What?
Stay where you are.
And listen closely. You're not going to run.
Uh-oh.
You're not going to fight.
Yeah.
The raid is over.
Ollie was a prototype.
Who is this?
It's a prototype, bruh.
An obvious question.
Yep, there it is.
With an obvious
Oh,
answer.
poor Casey. I just want to give her a hug and tell her it's going to be okay.
What did you do with Ollie?
Nah, Ollie was.
Here,
Oh,
Poppy.
For you.
yep.
Always be
Here.
That's a hell of a twist, huh?
The doctor, Catnap, Mommy and Huggy, they're all dead. You have nothing now. No one. And soon, you'll have less than that.
Stop that.
You don't need to pretend anymore.
Poppy.
Oh, poor Kissy.
Play at being stronger than you are. You can come home.
Oh, that's terrifying.
How much do you know?
Everything.
Yep.
This isn't right. All those years. Was there ever an Ollie?
Probably not.
Yes, there was.
Oh.
That was a very long time ago.
Oh, God.
Let me tell you what comes next.
Our demise.
I'm going to come
Come up there.
and I'm going to
Find you.
Oh, fuck.
Our collaborators.
Is he going to butt through the wall like the fucking Kool-Aid Man?
They will be dealt with.
What are you going to do with me?
You will become part of a larger whole. I gotta do this.
I prepared it just for you.
And this
Oh, God.
you will never want to leave.
Who the fuck is a prototype?
No. This entire time.
Oh my God, they're right above us.
This entire time. You've lied to me!
Only because you've kept
Missing the point.
Oh?
We've taken the liberty of retrieving those explosives from the Foundation. Thanks for collecting them.
Those, by the way,
What?
I've put them to good use.
Oh yeah, to blow up the safe haven.
I admit, though, I'm disappointed.
After all that time in your case, I'd hoped you'd see things differently.
Don't you understand?
Oh?
It's always been about you
And we'll harm you.
So he knows about the case.
That's not a truth that can be burnt away. No, not when it can mean so much more.
I can't move.
Prototype. Please.
It's time to come home.
Hobby.
It's
Yep.
time to come home.
Okay, I think I do know who it is. Or at least who it still is.
I can't go back in the case. I can't. I'm sorry.
Oh, she left. Well, it's just you and me, Kissy.
Some friend, huh?
Don't worry, I'll find her.
As for you two,
So what's that beeping?
try to land on your feet.
Uh-oh. Oh, shit! Oh, thank you, Kissy. I fucking owe you a lifetime debt. I didn't know that was gonna happen. Okay. Oh! I'm fucking dead. I landed face first into a boulder. That shit... I cannot be human. That confirms it. I am the perfect doll, because there's no way I just landed face first onto a rock and I'm fucking standing up on my feet like, hey, let's go! Can I take his arm with me, in case we see Kissy? Uh-oh. Oh god, I really hope Kissy is fine. She's been through so much. She does not deserve this. She's an innocent soul. Oh fuck. Oh fuck, I'm freaking out. Oh shit. Oh, I feel like we are not even close to the end of this fucking chapter. I feel like we still got like 3 hours left. That's terrifying. Because I want to say who the prototype is, but I don't want to spoil it. Because that's something I want to get to in the last part of this game. Whoa. Oh, they're all the poppy flowers for the experiments. Yeah, for the red gas and transferring children's souls into dolls. However the fuck that works. Is there anything in here? Oh, there's got to be a secret. There's absolutely has to be. There's going to be like a tape in here somewhere. I fucking know it. Okay, so that's blocked off. That's blocked off. Oh, I know there's a tape in here somewhere. I can feel it in my bones. Tape, tape. Tape, 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 record tape, 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 tape. Mine, mine, mine. I'm not seeing anything glowing. Alright, after this I got 1 charge left. This is such a fucking shit Omni hand. I will continue to make... Never mind, they're all gone. Oh, look it. There's a thing there. There was a fucking white tape in there. I fucking knew it. I knew it. I knew it deep in my bones and I couldn't find it. Oh, it's right here. Never mind. Bop. Movie time.
Hi, my name is Leith Pierre, and I'm the head of innovation here at Playtime Co. If you're seeing this, you must be very, very lost.
Yes.
Well, rest assured, friend, our state-of-the-art laboratory is just up ahead. Why don't you just go on inside and tap one of our scientists on the shoulder?
Give him a smack on the ass as well.
They'll be glad to help.
They're not going to help us, huh?
All right, all right. Let's be honest. You're not supposed to be here. This is the single most high-security, high-clearance section of the whole factory. When
That's fucking crazy.
You will be shot. And before you get any ideas, don't think you can just sneak away.
This was made before or after everything was closed,
It set
huh?
off an alarm. So if anyone's home, they know exactly where you are.
Oh.
Pretty nifty, huh? Security is very important to us here.
Oh, it's fucking Huggy. There he is.
I'd start running.
Hi there. Good to see you again, buddy. Oh, so good to see you. I've been waiting for you. You were the surprise guest. I fucking died. Really? No way that's the end, is it? Don't tell me the ending was that, right? Hold up, loading. Are you fucking kidding me? That was the end? I thought there would be more. Hold on, we're going to continue. Maybe I fucked up somewhere, right? Alright, just to make sure. In case I, like, fucked it up by accident. Because there's no way that's the ending. I must have fucked up somewhere. Yeah, because that's very interesting, because that would mean this recording was taped after the fall of the Foundation. That can be the only thing that makes sense. Because nothing else would. Let's do this real quick. Let's do this. No!
My name is Leif Pierre, and I'm the animation here at Playtime.
No, because you'll be here and then it'll
this,
suck me here.
You must be very, very
right?
lost. Well, rest assured, friend.
I'm just trying to check here because there's no fucking way this video is going to be. Hold up, I need to check how long this would even be. 14 minutes.
Why don't you just go on
14 minutes. There's no fucking way I can upload a video that is 14 minutes fucking long. Come on. Maybe this will open. Maybe there's something a little more. Just to get over to, like, the half-hour mark. Please. I'd feel like such a fucking asshole if I waited, like God knows how long, like 3 days, and then it's like, oh, here's a 15-minute episode. Go fuck yourself. Like, come on, man. Come on, come on. Oh, man. No fucking way that happened. I feel so embarrassed. Yeah, okay, it does go back here. That is so embarrassing.
Security is very important to us here.
Oh, look at him. Dude, he is all fucked up. I didn't even realize that. I was so shocked he was just here. Oh, he's missing an arm, too. Oh, God. We can't fucking escape you, can we? Alright. Well. 15 minutes episode. I'm very sure of that. Well, I don't even know what to say. I don't even think I have enough words to say to keep continuing this. Well, might as well go to the front scene. Because I have quite a few things to say about this game. Because I really enjoyed it. Kind of. This is a game that I think is... Because there's a thumbnail. I didn't watch the video, obviously. But it was like... One of them had like... It was like... Chapter 4 was like quantity over quality. Which is something I don't really agree with. For my own personal reason. Because here's the thing. I think this chapter is only slightly worse than chapter 3. But that's like calling a fucking... Like a 9 out of 10. An 8 out of 10. Like... It's worse, but it's like, it's not bad. But there's a reason for that, and I think this game has a lot of highs and a lot of lows, which it would take me a little while to discuss all that. But yeah, that will be a bit of a yap session, so in case you don't want to hear that, I will be going back to a tunic after this. And I already know where I left off, so don't worry, it'll be very quick. And if you liked the video, hit the like button, subscribe if you plan to stick around, and if I don't see you again, good morning, good evening, and good night. Bye. Now, as for those of you who want to hear me yap a bit about this chapter, I have quite a few things. I have a lot of good things to say. However, my opinion on this game are very bizarre. Because, here's the thing. I think for Safe Haven, the chapter, I think this is really going to depend on you as a person. On whether or not you're going to enjoy, like, the problems you'll have with this chapter. Because if you're not part of the fandom, I think you're going to be very lost on a lot of points in this game. But I think you're going to enjoy a lot of the characters. But if you're part of the fandom, I think you're going to be really to the point. You'll be aware of what's going on, but I think you'll be very, like, kind of let down with some of the characters, mainly Dowie and Harley, which is very weird to say. But oh god, how do I even explain this properly? Well, I guess we should go point by point, huh? First off, Yarnaby. I fucking love Yarnaby. I think he was the best thing in this chapter, like, without any faults. Dowie is obviously better than Yarnaby, but I think, like, when it comes to, like, overall, I think Yarnaby was just, like, a very solid part. There's nothing really you can complain about him. And the only downside, like, true negative thing I have to say would be, like, that little puzzle section ready to run around, find all the characters, and then put in the code. I did not like that. I don't know if that's just, like, me personally and, like, how my brain functions, but that felt way more confusing than it should have been. Like, I don't think I should have, like, looked up. whenever it comes to puzzles, I don't really feel like you should have to look up certain clues in order to find them, especially when it becomes very hard to find what you need and they're like spread about, without it being like kind of like a soft hand to guide you, kind of like, hey man, I know this is a puzzle, but you kind of want to go like, you know, like a little bit right. I think that's one of the reasons why I didn't really like that section, was because there was nothing really like guiding you. It was a lot of just like, what the fuck do I do, and like trial and error, which I don't really appreciate. Anyways, to get into the more complex stuff that really will decide whether or not you like, on what side, fuck, what I say, when you're like part of like the fandom or not. Because when you're part of the fandom, fuck, how do I, what's a good way to fucking explain this? You know what? I think Doey's a really good example of this. So, I think if you're part of the fandom, Doey will kind of like be a little off you. He'll be a good character, obviously. I think the way he's created, written, and executed, I think it's fucking phenomenal. I think it is like this most solid fucking piece of this game. Because I know for a lot of people, like, he was kind of like the twist villain. Oh my god, you know, he's like, oh, he's a villain? What? He's not an ally? I didn't see that as being very, like, obvious. I didn't see the twist as being obvious. I think the most obvious thing that he was going to be, like, the villain was in the beginning of the chapter when you had, like, the CVS tape. Because those are only for, like, the final, like, chase down mega villains. So it only made sense. And then you also had all the small dialogue here where it's kind of like, where you kind of like question, like, now hold on there. That's a little bit of a, that's all what a villain would say. But I don't think himself was meant to be like a twist. I think it was meant to be very obvious that he was going to be the final like villain to chase you down. But I think what made him work really well was because it wasn't the fact that he was meant to be a twist, but it was more that he was meant to be like a ticking time bomb. He was your ally, but you were constantly like looking over your shoulder at Doey and just waiting for the moment when he would finally snap and like come after you. I think that's why I really enjoyed him, because they didn't play him off as like a surprise twist, but more of like a ticking time bomb, just waiting to be set off. Like what's going to be the moment that finally snaps? And I think having Doey like look at you, be like, what's going on, hearing the explosion, and then he just like cries over. I think that was phenomenally done. So that's what I think of Doey. But even with his well executionness, I think if you're part of the fandom, I think he's going to be he's going to leave a little bit of a sour taste in your mouth. And the reason I say that is because I don't know how many people are actually part of the fandom who watch this fucking series, but in the fandom, in like the r/Poppy Playtime and like Discord and all that, there's an ARG going around, and people were solving it. It was going all about, and this is how we knew about URB's existence. However, in that ARG, there was also another character, that being Pianosaurus, sorry, the one that Doey killed. And the thing is that he was very mysterious in the ARG. I wouldn't say he played like a large role, but he was enough in the background to where it made you think, oh, this character must be important because he's in the ARG. And then you had Doey come in and kill him, and it's like, even though without a doubt Pianosaurus would have been a more boring villain than Doey, it's something like that where it's like you set up the importance of Pianosaurus and then immediately kill him off with nothing, by the way, and then you introduce this new character. It's kind of like a, oh, whoa, what is this character doing here? It's a more of a sour taste in your mouth because you're kind of like led astray. And something else that I think will leave a big sour taste in your mouth if you're part of the fandom would be the Nightmare Critters. And just to say this right now, listen, no one in either fucking party was going to expect the Nightmare Critter to play a large role. No one was expecting that. Everyone knew it wasn't. It was just obvious, because then to be rehashing and all that. However, I think a lot of people in the fandom were expecting them to play at least not like a large role, but like a medium role. Something where it's like an enemy you talk to, you kind of learn a little bit more lore about the prison, and all that. Because they made the Nightmare Critters a really big importance in terms of like, I guess in terms of like scale, because they were in the first trailer for Poppy Playtime Chapter 4 when he goes through the door and then he pounces on Dog Day. He turns around and he like gives you that creepy ass smile. But also they had like the one a week where it would introduce a new Nightmare Critter, and then as well the name would slowly get filled out with the color and all the spectacle. And then you also had the tag for when you first bought Chapter 4, it was kind of like a placeholder tag before you actually got to buy it, but it had Baba Chops as like the little guy there to kind of, and with all those significance, it really showed that even if the Nightmare Critters weren't going to be like the main role, they were at least going to play a very large role somehow within the game. And then to have them just be like ankle biters in that one little section where he's kind of like Baba Chop's like chasing you about and just hopping at you, it's a very big disappointment, but it also really feels like a betrayal. And this is also something that I kind of think goes into Doughy as well in a very weird way, because a lot of people were complaining about the Nightmare Critters, and even though Doughy was very fucking clearly part of the game, I think like probably in the beginning, it really did, because of the backlash from the, not backlash, but kind of like disappointment for the Nightmare Critters, it really did feel like Doughy was kind of meant to be like a switcheroo, like, oh, you don't like this? Oh, here's a new character. Even though he was very much part of like the game, that's kind of what it comes off as, which is really weird. But yeah, it's those two things with Pianosaurus and the Nightmare Critters that really make it feel kind of like you were led astray, like you were kind of like deceived into what you were expecting. But I think if you're not part of the fandom, I don't think those problems are going to be prevalent. I think you're going to love Doughy just the same, and I don't think the Nightmare Critters are ever going to be a bit of a problem. They'll all be like, oh, here's this guy. But I mean, that's about it. Obviously, since you don't know the hype, I think it will go by relatively quickly. However, I cannot say that with Harley Sawyer, because no matter what party you're in, you're going to have a very big problem with this guy right here. Because, okay, here's the thing. Within the fandom, there was a lot of evidence that Harley Sawyer was in the game and was alive. This was largely because of, within the pages, he was always talking about, and then you had the second game where he was talking about immortality, all this stuff, he was part of the bigger bodies. There's just a lot of evidence to show that he was more than likely going to be a big bad and that he was alive in the factory somewhere. We just didn't know. However, like I said, that was in the fandom we knew about it. If you're a regular player, Harley Sawyer is just going to come out of fucking nowhere. Because you really have to dig deep into the lore in order to know who Harley Sawyer is. Because even though he's said a lot of times in the pages, that's really only where he's mentioned. Maybe in like a few tapes here and there. But like, you're not going to remember his importance because he just gets lost in the sea of names. As well as censor pages so people can miss him. And they're probably not going to read them very thoroughly. So it's like, he's not really a big important character for like people who aren't in the fandom. Even though he realistically is a very big character. Then you also had his boss fight, which is just like... It was really disappointing, really. Especially for the scale of this character and like the role he played within the story. It's like, it was easier than Yardaby and very quickly. Like, you just saw him, like you heard him throughout the game, but then you saw him, and then he died. Like, it's such a disappointment. Like, I think if you're part of the fandom, or if you're not part of the fandom, it would just kind of be like a one-off villain. Which is very, kind of like a hyped up villain that he gets to put down, like a monster of the week type of thing. But if you're part of the fandom, you're going to be very, very disappointed in just like the execution of Harley Sawyer. Because again, he was meant to be this really big, bad guy, and then he just kind of just dies really disappointingly. And I don't think having you go around and shutting down the organs would really like solidify, or like at least like make it feel like he's a big bad. Because again, that's something, but those are more of like puzzles. You're not really interacting with him directly like you did within the last part where you had to get all the batteries, where it really like showed him. And then there's also the whole fact where like the mechanical bodies didn't kill you instantly, which I think also brought down the fear. Or I shouldn't say fear, but his threat level down a lot. Kind of similar to like Outlast, where you're kind of given like a second chance, but because of that second chance, the enemies don't feel quite as scary. That's kind of like the same problem Harley Sawyer had. So I think so I think him in general is just a really big disappointment. I can't really say that for her, Ollie, because it was very much theorized that Ollie was the prototype from the very beginning, even in Chapter 3. And I really like that sinister good that Ollie did. It kind of gives you a little sense of like, oh, that dude's a little suspicious. And then you also have the prototype, which I am very confused on his relationship with Poppy. Because, here's the thing, the prototype is Ludwig. As in, like, the founder of, Playtime Co. That's who Ludwig is, and Poppy is his daughter that he reanimated. I don't know how I know that's a really big thing to say. I should probably put a spoiler, actually, before I fucking just outright said that. But it becomes very... But the reason why that's very weird is because, as a tape said with Shelf, he was a very honest guy, and when he did the orphanage, it was very much to help people. So to have the prototype be this sinister character... Also, I should say, like, the whole reason that the Hour of Joy with Your Right to Heaven was actually aimed from the prototype because he wanted to save the kids from being tortured because he thought it was really fucked up. But having it reveal that Harley Sawyer and the prototype, or Ludwig, was working together is very bizarre for the prototype's character, and I don't think it's really mentioned. I don't really think the scale of which is really mentioned, because Harley Sawyer wanted kids to be happy. He started the orphanage specifically because his daughter died and then he adopted Poppy. That's why he started the orphanage, so other people could help these kids. And he stopped the Hour of Joy because the experiments were going on. So to have it be mentioned that Harley Sawyer and the prototype were working together in the laboratory to do God knows what to these kids is really fucking bizarre and so out of character for the prototype in general, where I'm just really questioning how it is, because it still does seem like it is Ludwig and not like Lier Pierce or something. Unless it's like another twist where it's like it's both Ludwig and Lier. But I don't think... No, wait, no, I don't think it is. Yeah, it's not, because Lier Pierce was still human after the prototype was made. So it can't be Lier Pierce, never mind. Because that's where the whole thing where like prototype said, "You'll come home," within reference to him being Ludwig and prototype being the father. So it's like, it's so bizarre for the character. The more I think about it, like, I don't know why they would do it like that. It's a very confusing chapter. But yeah, just to get back to like Harley Sawyer, I think this is more of a combination of a problem with both Harley Sawyer and the prototype a little bit. But I think one of the problems that this chapter really suffers from is like the info dump. Because in the previous chapters, there wasn't a lot of information on either the Harley Sawyer or the prototype. They were very much left as a mystery throughout the entire game till like chapter 4. And it's kind of the similar problem that, like, if you remember Captain America Winter Soldier had, where it's like Cap was like looking around trying to figure out why everyone was corrupt, and then you get to the end of the movie and then it's like revealed it's Hydra. But in order to make it make sense, they had like info dump a whole bunch of shit for you because they couldn't really put it in the earlier movies or else it would be spoiled. It's kind of a similar problem to that, where the information isn't really clearly like shown to you throughout the game without you having to go into like each fucking page and tape, reading it and watching it, because there's a lot of times, because when you do stuff like that and you rely on the player having to read the page, remember the page, watch the tape, and remember the tape, I think you end up isolating a lot of like the information that is very, very crucial. Kind of similar to what like FNAF kind of had a problem with, where you had to like really dig deep into the lore in order to like find the info that you needed to piece everything together. And then they kind of fixed that a little bit in like later games with Prototype, Ruin, and all that, where they gave more of the information more blatantly. And I think that's the problem that this chapter has. There's not a lot of blatant information. Like, I think when it came to Harley Sawyer, I think there should have been a lot more info, or like a lot more direct info of Harley Sawyer not necessarily being alive, I would say, but more like his expansion on the playtime as a whole, rather than all the information be dumped on you in chapter 4, because it really does feel like a whiplash, and it's kind of hard to like retain all that information if you weren't already part of the fandom and following all the pieces being put together. So I hope in like later chapters they kind of like do a little bit of a better job. Although, with how far we come, I don't know how much of a better job you could do without it feeling like you're just dumping all kinds of information on someone. Yeah, that's what I think of the chapter so far, and all I have to say. I know I said a lot of negative stuff about it, but I really do think like the positive and negatives for the game were really dependent on like you as a person and if you're part of the fandom or not. Because I think depending on if you're a part of the fandom or not, I think all the highs and lows of the game are going to change depending on that. Because I think for this game, there's a lot of highs, but I also think there was a lot of like lows as well when you compare it to like the other chapter. like chapter 3, where there's some highs and lows, but for chapter 4, those highs and lows are a lot higher and a lot steeper. But yeah, that's all I have to say. I have been rambling on for, I think, fucking, what is that, 12 minutes? Oh god damn, I'm becoming a professional yapper. But yeah, if you liked the video, hit the like button, subscribe and plan to stick around, and if I don't see you again, good morning, good evening, and good night. Bye.